Hey, this is Randy at Funeral Funds of America. In this video, we are going to talk about the actual cost for $25,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 75-year-old male. Now, first thing is just keep in mind, you can go to just about any page on our website. We're going to have these free quoters. You can select what state you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. And you can select a coverage amount and just put in your birthday and hit the get quotes, and it will show you actual companies and actual rates that you can qualify for. So first things first, you can actually go to our website and just fill out this quote form. Just put the state you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Fill in the coverage amount and then put your birthday in, hit the submit button, and you'll be able to check out a quoter. It's the same one that we use. It's going to show you exact pricing for all the different companies that are available in your state. You can also call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456. Now, really the first thing you should focus on is how much insurance do you really need? And that would depend if you're going to have a cremation or a burial. Now, a cremation in the United States costs anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000. Now, that's just for a basic cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. And if you're going to have some sort of celebration of life or remembrance ceremony, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500. So if you've got a $25,000 policy already, quit watching the video. Pretty easy, huh? But if you don't, then it's probably a good idea to get some insurance. And I would just really, in most cases, not recommend $25,000 for a 75-year-old male if you're getting cremated. We really recommend that you get just the amount of coverage you really need. And don't overinsure, because at age 75, the insurance starts to get a little bit more expensive just because you've waited an awful long time to get this insurance. You've waited up until age 75. So we would typically recommend for a cremation, maybe get kind of $5,000, maybe $7,500, probably $10,000 max if you're going to have a funeral and it was going to be a little more fancy. Keep in mind, you can always add more coverage later, so don't feel pressured to overinsure. Kind of the biggest thing is just make sure it's affordable and that it fits your budget so that you don't have to cancel the policy later if money gets a little bit tight. So now, if you're going to be buried and you've got $25,000 worth of life insurance, you're pretty well taken care of if you're a 75-year-old male. But again, if you don't have insurance, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. And I can tell you what, it's not going to be a fancy affair. It's going to be very simple. But most funeral homes, if you walk in with a $10,000 check, they'll get it done versus letting you walk down the street to a competitor and they'll take that $10,000 check. So really at age 75, if you're planning on living to 80 or 85, it'd probably be good to get a little bit more insurance. Most people would bump it up to $15,000, but $25,000 is probably excessive for most people just financially. If you can only afford $10,000, get $10,000 right now. You can always add more coverage later, because for your family, $10,000 is better than no thousand. So next thing you want to watch out for is first day coverage. And that's what we specialize at Funeral Funds of America. First day coverage with low cost same day approvals. Now, a lot of people would say, well, the first day coverage plans have health questions and I'm not in that great of health. Well, we work with enough different insurance companies that typically that's not an issue. 95% of the people we're helping qualify for first day coverage. The only reason you wouldn't qualify is if you had some really significant health issues. And that would be things like a terminal illness where you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or if you had dementia, or you were on dialysis, or you were in a hospital or in a nursing home. The only other thing that happens is sometimes we get phone calls and somebody will say, hey, we just had a family member pass away this last week and their body's down at the funeral home and they didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. We need to get this policy really quickly so we can pay the funeral home to bury them. And then we have to tell them, unfortunately, there's no insurance company in the United States that will offer a policy to somebody who's already dead. So it's really sad that the person who died put their family in this situation, both financially and emotionally. It's absolutely terrible to do that to your loved ones. So really, the only thing we can do is learn from their mistake, and just make sure that you get this insurance before you actually need it. You can't wait until you die, unfortunately. The other thing we encourage people to watch out for is 2-year waiting period plans. And Colonial Penn's probably kind of the most well-known just because they advertise like crazy on TV. Like, seems like all the time they're on the TV. And what ends up happening is, if you're a 75-year-old male and you see $9.95, and boy, that commercial's awfully enticing, and you think, oh my gosh, I'm going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000 for $9.95. Oh, I outsmarted everybody, and I waited until I was really old to get this insurance. And then you find out for a male age 75, $9.95 for 1 unit will only give you $549. Ouch. So we don't recommend 2-year waiting periods. Colonial Penn's not the only one. Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha policy is a 2-year waiting period. AIG, Gerber, there's a whole bunch of different insurance companies, and they've done a really good job of, some of these companies have done a really good job of convincing the American public that, it's mandatory that you have a 2-year waiting period and you can't qualify for first day coverage. And I'm here to tell you the truth. You can qualify for first day coverage most of the time. That's what we help people with all day long. So the challenge with Colonial Penn and their $9.95 plan is that as you get older, they limit the coverage amount. It keeps going down as you get older, and they max out at 15 units. And you can't actually get $25,000 worth of insurance based off their $9.95 plan. Let's take a look at this. In fact, 15 units, you're going to max out $149, and 15 units is only going to get you $8,235. So that would be enough for a cremation, but remember, it's not going to pay out for 2 years. So $8,235 is not going to be worth that in 2 years. And what happens if you die in the first 2 years? Ouch. And then, if you get it for a burial, 2 years from now, that's going to be worth less, probably not going to pay for a burial. But why would you do that when you can qualify for first day coverage? Let's jump over here and let's take a look here. Actually, let's do this really quickly. $8,235. I'm going to put that in here. $8,235. Not 82,000. Holy cow. 8,235. I'm going to click the quote button here. And again, Colonial Penn's $149. You could get that with other insurance companies for around $78 to $80 instead of $149. And these companies would be first day coverage. So why would you get a 2-year waiting period policy when it's that expensive through Colonial Penn? But I know this video is about $25,000. We're just taking a little side road. And we're going to click on this. And remember, $149 for $8,235. You could get $25,000 worth of insurance for $237. That's pretty expensive for most people. But this is level coverage. We work with Trinity. They are a great company. They are just consistently one of the lowest priced companies out there. But, $237. So if you can wing it and you need that much insurance, go for it. But again, typically we would recommend a smaller amount. What are some other insurance companies? Let's look at a couple other ones. Maybe somebody else that advertises. Lincoln Heritage. Oh, look at this one, $310. Now, other fine company, level coverage, first day coverage, but very expensive compared to other insurance companies. And the reason is they've got a program where they will, when you pass away, they'll call 2-3 funeral homes, maybe do some other things. And, supposedly kind of save your family the emotional turmoil of having to do that. But they charge a pretty good premium for that, $310 versus $237. So that's $240 to be $60. That'd be $70 roughly. $70 more a year. 7 times 12 is $84. So that'd be $840 more a year. And if you live to age 85, that would be $8,400 more. So think about this. Is it worth, if you live 10 years, to pay somebody $8,400 more to make 2 or 3 phone calls, maybe do a couple other things for you? That's a lot of money. We'd rather see you keep that in your own pocket. What we do is when we help people, even if people just want it, we can send it to them. We've got a funeral and estate planning guide where we basically have included almost everything. I can't imagine there's anything that we've forgotten that you would need when you pass away, just to make sure that your family has all the information necessary to take care of your final arrangement. That might be funeral home, that might be assets, that might be heirlooms you want left to people, property, all that stuff. You just write it all down, and then you keep it with your policy. And then when you pass away, all that information's there, and your family will know that you loved them and cared for them and thought about them well in advance, so that when you passed away, you wouldn't be a hardship to them. And what an ultimate act of love. What a great gift to leave your family, and a great eternal memory to leave behind. So we can get that to you. But really the biggest thing is, if you want to just get pricing, again, fill out our quote here, and you can play with the different coverage amounts here and find one that fits your budget, and then just reach out to us and we can help you out with that. You can also just call our toll-free number and just talk with us in person. And whether you've got an existing policy and you want to price check it, or you've got an existing policy and it's not enough coverage and you want to add coverage to it, we can help. Or if you just need a brand new policy right off the start, we can help you with that. Even if you just have questions, just reach out to us. We'd love to talk with you, and we'd love to help you and your family take care of this forever. And until that day comes when we do get to meet you, you take care. Have a nice day. Stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.